Hey, Mac Delta Fish Co. Thanks for stopping in. Let's talk about jerkbaits. All right, before I go into that, what prompted this video? I broke my jerkbait rod yesterday, did a rookie move. I boat flipped a bass, which I shouldn't have done with my jerkbait rod. I broke the tip off of it, moved my jerkbait over to my crank rod. Still caught fish, just wasn't the optimal rod. But at this moment right now, they're chasing bait like crazy, so it didn't matter. They were more honed in on this thing moving around down there, and the crankbait rod did it for me. Luckily, I have another jerkbait rod just by chance here in the shop, so I rigged that up. So yeah, X-Pride 610 medium. We'll have to wait until I do another rookie move and break this rod. All right, jerkbaits. In my opinion, Vision 110, the standard and what all other jerkbaits derive from. Megabass Vision 110. They're expensive. They have the my opinion, the greatest color schemes to match any water or weather you have. The only downside, I would say, is the hooks that they come with, which aren't bad hooks, they're just finesse hooks. So you need to upgrade your hooks, and that's on all of the Vision 110 Juniors, the plus ones. They all need to be changed out. Now, mind you, on the 110s, they need to be, I believe it's the G Finesse size 4 hooks. And reason why it's specific is because if you go too heavy, too light, you change the suspension rate of this lure. That being said, also, weather or water temp, these will work really, really well in colder waters. As far as suspending, the warmer waters, they'll tend to float up a little bit. So keep in mind that for me, the 110s all year long for bass fishing are great. They are the staples. When I'm going to throw a jerkbait for bass any time of the year, it's going to be the Vision 110 or one of the variations as mentioned. Now, I do have some plus 2s out here on the Cal Delta. Even though we have some good, higher tides and stuff, I just haven't had a reason to throw those. So the plus 2s that I have don't even get used. They've never been used. The silent 110s, I recommend you have at least 1 or 2 of these. I do. And just because sometimes they just don't want noise. And it's actually nice to come into a spot and throw a silent one first, just to see, if that's enough to get the bite. And then move to one that has sound to it. But don't discount those silent ones. Just like crankbaits or square bills, running a silent one sometimes is enough without spooking, the whole area out. That being said, I do run other jerk baits. I have the Realis, a couple of those, the Shimano Flash Boost, I believe, caught a few on those. This one is the Rerange, and that one's for targeting striper. I'll tell you why here in a second. And then I have my larger ones, again, for targeting striper. This one is the Kanata, and that's a 1 ounce jerkbait. So jerkbaits, yes, you can fish them all year long here on the Cal Delta, and they're gonna catch fish for you. For me, it's the Vision 110s. There's others that you can buy out there that are, I would say, probably just as good, but the standard, as far as I'm concerned, is the Vision 110. Now, fishing these for bass out on the Cal Delta, the difference is the rate at which you fish them. And without going into a rabbit hole and technique of it, when they're chasing bait, fish these erratically. When they're in colder water and they become more lethargic, slow it down. That's the beauty of a jerkbait, is you can suspend it in one spot and leave it there longer and give them more time to react to it. There. That is the beauty of the jerkbait. Now, when they're chasing bait, man, get crazy with it. Pop it, snap it, whatever it takes to entice them to come get that lure. It definitely is the way to fish, especially right now. Look, we're still in summer bite. The water yesterday was 74, 72, between 74 and 72 degrees. Bait fish all over the place. Yeah, they're chasing bait still. So the jerkbait is definitely one you should be throwing right now as well. For me, here's a little tidbit. I throw 50-pound braid. It don't matter. I've polled the bass. I've asked them. We've had town meetings, and the bass don't seem to care as far as I'm concerned. So 50-pound braid on all my stuff. I do use a snap clip because I like to change the colors out depending on where I'm at on the Delta. The water clarity changes. The only other different line that I run is going to be my frog rods, which those are 65. But everything else, crankbait, jerkbait, spinnerbait, jig, chatter, all my rods, everything, 50-pound braid. There. My opinion, I catch fish. I don't worry about the other things. Just one less thing to worry about. Anyways, all right, so that's, time of the year, again, all year long as far as I'm concerned. You can throw a jerkbait and catch fish. Now, what we do have coming up is the fall striper run, and you can be out targeting bass fishing in the fall, and if the striper run's good, and it probably will be this year, the way it's looking like, you're going to catch striper. So if you're out there on the Delta and you're fishing a 6/8 medium fast rod with a Vision 110 on it, all I can tell you is hopefully you change the hooks out, and hopefully you land that fish. Stripers are just, they're psychos on the water, and they're psychos when they get those hooks in them. And hopefully you change those hooks out. And that's all I can tell you. That should be a fun fight for you. Now, that being said, for my striper fishing, when I'm targeting striper, I beef up my gear a little bit. I move to a little bit longer rods in the 7 to 7.1 range. I tend to use a different lure specifically for stripers, like this Rerange. It's got a weight transfer system in it. Our winds are going to start kicking up, so casting this into the wind is really good. The bigger Kanata, which is almost a 1 ounce, I believe it's a 1 ounce. I've got it on a 7-foot. Also beefed up reel. I'm at a 200, Curado 200K on that. And these are medium heavies versus just the medium for my targeting bass jerkbait rod. The line, still 50-pound braid. I run 50 on everything. But for the stripers, I will add a swivel before the snap, just because striper, if you caught a bunch of striper already, they do death rolls, and they'll twist the crap out of your line. So that helps with not having so much line twist when you're targeting stripers. So that's my spiel on the jerkbaits. They're deadly all year long. They'll catch fish, and they're great lures. This time of the year coming up, of course, because of the stripers and the way all striper and bass are all chasing bait right now, the jerkbait is just an awesome lure to have out there. Once again, if you're going to do the Vision 110s, you got to change the hooks. You don't have to, but man, it's highly recommended. Sooner or later, those hooks are going to give, and you're going to be losing fish. Trust me, anybody that's fished the 110s long enough knows that those finesse hooks they come with, they don't cut it out here. Anyways, hope this helps you. And don't boat flip your jerkbait rod like I did. Don't boat flip fish, because shit happens. Anyways, all right, Mac Delta Fish Co. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll hit you up next week. See how it gets out there, if it gets any better than it already is. All right.